Give me the opportunity to go.
Senator, I want to ask you about something you said during the speech. You clearly still think that going after Saddam Hussein was the right thing to do. But I wonder, now that we've learned what we have, not just about military strategy and strength, troop strength and all that, but have you learned anything from the way the Iraq War was launched about the use of U.S. military in policing up matters around the world? Have you learned anything from this? What have you learned?
We've got to, well, that's an important question because it has to, all the focus right now is on Iraq and Afghanistan. And it's understandable while we're very much focused on that. But the real question is the future, because we're going to be the United States of America for a long, long time, God willing. We're going to have to, in the future, determine precisely what's in our national interest. We're going to have to decide not only what we should do, but whether we have the capabilities of doing it. That's going to involve our allies sometimes. How much support are we going to get for what we need to do? It's going to involve a proper analysis of our intelligence capabilities. What is really the situation on the ground? How dire a threat is it to our country? Is it a direct threat to our country? And lastly, the American people. Do the American people understand the importance of what we're thinking about doing in any given situation in the future? You got to have all those things together. We got to do things in a wiser way as we look to the future. Now that may mean more or less in terms of engagements in other places, but I think that's the kind of analysis that we have to go through.
Senator, do you think your argument is united?
Everyone that I have talked to out in my meetings like this, the answer has been yes. I had a meeting with several leaders back not long ago, and was able to better explain, the details of my proposed amendment. And I don't want to put words in their mouth. They can speak for themselves. I think they prefer their own wording, but they're primarily concerned about marriage being a union between a man and a woman, something that was not even an issue in most people's minds for an awful long time until judges changed it all around. So what I have done is fashioned something that says judges can't do that anymore, and which I think would stop the process in its tracks, because it's all judge-made. No state legislature accompanied by the governor's signature has gone down that road. But secondly, it preserves the principles of federalism, which is a good, sound, conservative thing to preserve, something I've stood for a long time, and that is you got to be awfully reticent to go in and do more than is absolutely necessary in terms of a constitutional amendment and federalize what doesn't need to be federalized to solve the problem. And they understand that, appreciate it. I think they think that mine is a good approach. I can't say that they think that it's a better approach than one that they might have, but I think that they respect my position on federalism, which they also incidentally respect. But good friends can differ on the details of any particular approach.
How would you differ from
I'm not going to concentrate on the differences with anybody right now. I've not been reticent to talk about the things that I think have gone well and things that have not gone well, just like our little get-together in there that we've had over the last several minutes. Clearly, I talked about the war. I think that I understand the decision that was made to go in there. It was a choice between two bad decisions, whether or not we went into Iraq. Saddam Hussein today, had we not gone in, would be sitting on this power keg and be in control of the whole thing. He would have been the new dictator of that entire region, in my estimation. He was a dangerous, irrational man who by this time would have been well on his way to having the nuclear capability himself. But clearly we did not go in with enough people with the right strategy, and we did not foresee what was happening there. Part of that, I think, has to do with the fact that our intelligence capabilities were not what they should have been. But in terms of Iraq, I think that that's an important distinction to make.
Senator, Ron McCain has sparked somewhat of a debate about whether the United States was founded on Christian nation. Any thoughts on what he said and your own views on the topic?
Well, I think factually the Judeo-Christian heritage of the United States is is certainly a fact. But I don't know what he said past that. I think that is a fact.
He said you consider voting for a Muslim. Would you vote for a Muslim?
I wouldn't rule anybody in or out who I didn't have identified. You come with a particular candidate, a hypothetical situation in the future. I can't say that I would vote for or against anybody in any category. Obviously, we have real problems, and we have a major, long-standing threat to this nation by radical Islam. But there are a lot of Islamic individuals and citizens of this country who are not radical, who are very good citizens. And I'm not going to categorically say that at any time in the future I would or would not vote for anybody.
Okay, thank you guys. We got to go.
What about Christian religious leaders who have expressed some concern about sort of a broader array of some of your answers? And some of the people suggested that probably it'd be nice to see you going to church a little bit more and talk a little bit about your faith as it relates to the political relationship you have with them.
I've not heard them say to me or anywhere else the things that you just mentioned, Carl. I don't doubt that they must be saying it to you. But I just had a meeting with a dozen or so of leaders there in the Arlington group. And I would be happy for you to talk to any of those members about that meeting. I think that they can best articulate their own positions on that. None of those things were expressed in a very long meeting that we had there. I talked about my background, where I was coming from, and to a certain extent, myself as an individual. And I think we left there on very friendly terms.
Senator, there was a story. There was a story in political. There was a story in